God, the lighting is so bad. Hi, everybody. Sorry it was a little late. I had to get set up. I ran a little bit over with Diane. I get like 50% on my phone. Such shitty cell phone. Hi. Hi, Mel. Let me just, hold on. Okay. The lighting's really bad. Hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Lil. Hi, Half Pint. Welcome. So listen, just let's get right into it. So tonight, I invited everybody if they'd like to talk about recovery, drug addiction, families who are struggling with their loved one who is struggling in drug addiction, alcohol, opiates. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Diane's channel, it went well. It was fun. Hi, Princess. So I just wanted to reach out and where I personally have struggled with a loved one with drug addiction. It's a tough process. It's a very tough process. It is a family disease. It affects everybody. It affects the family, friends. So, there is help out there. There is hope. And, once you find that hope, then that's the start of, moving toward resources that the people are out there to help you. I had no hope at one point. I was trying to play superwoman and handle it all on my own, keep work, my career, paying bills, and I couldn't do it anymore. It was really debilitating mentally, physically, emotionally, where I literally did not get out of bed. So somebody reached out to me, and I took that first step and went to a support group. And sometimes all the support groups just aren't for us. We can take a little bit here and there, and I kept going to different support groups until I found the one that was comfortable with me, which my first support group was Al-Anon. And, it's not just about alcohol anymore. And Al-Anon recovery. Congratulations, Robbie. Al-Anon, they talk about other drugs besides alcohol. And then I found Learn to Cope, which was more based on people able to give advice and lead people in the right direction, to be proactive in their loved one's life in order to get them help, where Al-Anon was more about let's deal with you and take care of yourself, which was good for me at that time. I needed that. I needed to learn to love myself, to take care of myself. But they didn't really talk about your loved one that was affected with drug addiction. It was basically, cut ties. I haven't been to an Al-Anon group in a long time, so I'm hoping, they've changed a little bit, where this epidemic is just, it's across the whole country, and we're losing way too many people. So if anyone wants to share, or you don't have to, you can just listen. If anyone is in recovery, if anyone has a family member struggling, certainly reach out here. And I'm sure other people, have gone through exactly what you've been through. When you find that person who is like, that's my story, that connection with somebody else means everything, that you are not alone. So, welcome everybody. My 3-year-old son died in 2017 from coke laced with fentanyl. The police did nothing, acted like he was just another useless drug addict. I am so sorry, Midnight Blue. I am so sorry. There is so much ignorance out there with drug addiction. And my purpose, being active in the community, is to lift that stigma, that nobody wakes up in the morning, and no one is born wanting to be a drug addict or to struggle in addiction. Nobody. And that's ignorance. And it takes education, especially with the police. There's no need for that. I know a lot of police stations in my area have angel programs that if one is arrested for possession of drugs, not if they're dealing, but possession that they bought from someone, they have a choice of either going into recovery or jail. And if they go into recovery, we're called angels, and we volunteer and go sit with that person until we can get them into a safe place like detox. So I'm sorry about that. I am so sorry. We are losing way too many of our sons, our daughters, and our prayers are with you. Trevor, I always watched Knots Landing and thought it would be cool. Yeah, well, we've come a long way. It's not cool anymore. I don't think it was ever cool, but I think society accepted it more, and there wasn't this epidemic of like now we have fentanyl. I mean, just plain heroin. People weren't really dying, but now everything is fentanyl. And that is deadly. That is just deadly, and you have to be proactive in your loved one's life. It's not cool to either lose your kid or your dad or mom. No, it's not. It is not. I had two professional friends, one a nurse, one speech pathologist, died within 6 months from OD. Both good friends. I had no idea. That was bad functioning addicts. Yeah, you just don't know. Sarcasm. I'm scared every day he will overdose. Sarcasm. Is this a child of yours? For anybody that has a loved one and you feel completely powerless and hopeless, but more powerless, like no matter what you do, no matter what you say, it's not going to change anything. I promise you that. You can get on your knees, you can beg, you can cry, you can bring him, the shock treatment, bring him to a morgue, look at this, or when they go to funerals, there's no shock factor anymore. The addiction is that powerful, but what you can do in your city or town is go to the courthouse and file a Section 35, meaning if that your loved one is a danger to himself or another, you can apply to have them sectioned into rehab. You have to go before a judge. You have to tell your side of the story. If they approve the Section 35, the police have basically a warrant out for their arrest. They bring him back, and a psychiatrist evaluates them. And basically, your loved one has a right to due process. So your loved one, even if he's like, I'm not, I have no problem or whatever, he gets to speak in front of the judge. The psychiatrist gets to speak. The psychiatrist will tell the judge, this is what I see. This, the judge, the psychiatrist does not recommend. He just, tells the judge what he's observed, the conversation they had. And then it's up to the judge, and then they are stipulated into rehab. But a lot of rehabs are not locked facilities, and they can walk right out. But there's that hope, there's that chance that, and they're safe for at least that first day in there. And we just pray that they stay. So that's one thing that you can do. It's very hard, that tough love. It's very hard. Nobody wants to have their child arrested. Nobody wants, to do something like this. But in the long run, I guarantee you, every person who struggled with drug addiction will say that was the best thing that happened to them. They need that. They need that. And you've got to do the logic, not the heart. You've got to just go in there. It takes courage, but you can do it. Your child is safe. He will, you can sleep that night, and there's a chance that he will or she will seek that recovery. After 4 years in prison, I really thought he would stop. It's not enough. Prison is not enough. Prison doesn't do anything. It doesn't. To be honest with you, prisons, they, it's just not enough. It's just not enough. It's more of a punishment in there. They don't care. They don't care. I think in November of this year, they're going to start administering methadone or Suboxone in prisons, so that they don't have to go through withdrawals. So there is some hope. But as far as, once their time is up in prison, they don't care. They don't resource you out. It's like, bye, there's the door. There's the door. Suboxone, it helps if you're ready to find recovery, okay? It can be abused, but it's better than heroin. It's better than heroin, but, it's something, if that's what works for your loved one. There are lots of people I know who are on it. It's tough getting off of it, but I can't judge on saying, if someone's child or loved one should take it or not. That you have to discuss with their doctor or, an outpatient clinic or inpatient clinic. Let me just turn the brightness up a little bit. I can't see. Trevor, Suboxone helped me. I know a lot of people that it did help. A lot of people. Hi, everybody. Unfortunately, when they come out of prison, there's no help and back up with the same friends when you get out. Also, they can get drugs brought into prison, too. That's true. That's true. So, it's good to set up a plan with your loved one if someone's in prison. And I have a resource on Facebook, Andrew Hager. Oh, my God, where is my resource page? Hold on, guys. All right, Andrew Hager, here it is. Sorry. Andrew Hager is on Facebook. He spent time in jail, okay? And he's got a whole bunch of more resources, okay? Andrew Hager, Hager. His telephone number, 859-533-5815. He's on Facebook, okay? Like his page, reach out to him. I know him. He lives in Kentucky, but he deals with people all over the country, and he helps with our, finding rehabs. He also has a radio station on Facebook called recoveryradio.fm, okay? He's phenomenal. He is phenomenal. He was such a great help for me, such a great resource. Boston Hippie in Gloucester, you can walk into the police station. You can do that in a lot of police stations. You can do that in Worcester. More and more police stations are doing that. Boston, I met the ex-lieutenant or chief in Gloucester. He came to learn to cope one day. We put together, we had the police come to our meeting, and we got them into this program where you can go there and not be charged, and have the choice to go to detox. So there are a lot of police stations. Yeah, I don't believe he's no longer with the police station, but he started that. He's a phenomenal guy. My ex-husband struggled with drug addiction. It was difficult on all of us. I gave and did everything to get him clean. One of the hardest things I ever went through. He was verbally abusive. Yeah, it's hard, Susan. It will ruin marriages. It will destroy marriages. People lose their jobs. They lose their livelihood. It's tough. And we learn from our mistakes. Do you know how many mistakes I made with enabling? And I was like, but I learned as I went on, what were the appropriate things to do. And I learned I had to get tough. And it's so hard. And you want to trust that person. And sometimes the first time around in rehab, it doesn't work. Sometimes the second time doesn't work. The third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, the eighth. But you know what? You keep going and you keep going and you don't give up for your loved one. You don't. You can, I always say you can support someone in recovery and not support them in addiction, but you also don't want to turn your back on them either, like kicking that person out of the house. They're just gonna, it's gonna just get deeper and deeper. Hi, Crush. Hi, Adam. Crush is here. I'm sorry, Mona. Your mother was an alcoholic, and I was taking care of enabling her. We don't know. I mean, enabling is a big thing. Hi, Robbie. Nice. You don't want to give that person money to get the drugs, you know, but these days and age, I'd rather that person have a roof over their head, food in their belly, knowing they're with me, than out on the street. And everybody has to get Narcan. I know in my state, I know the AIDS Project has free Narcan. You can get it at the pharmacy. You have to pay for it. I don't know what it costs, but Narcan is a must to have, nasal Narcan. And I should have brought it up to show you what it looks like. You guys want to wait a minute? Just chat for a minute. Sorry, I don't have it on me. Shoot. We got a new refrigerator. So it's just somewhere. I don't want to take the time from you. But Narcan is a small nasal. It has medicine in it, and it's administered through the nostrils. But there are classes. You can go on YouTube. If you get Narcan, usually they train you. It takes 10 minutes. It's very easy to administer it. A lot of people think that if someone's struggling, has Narcan, it's like their safety net. It's not true. It's not true. Right, and after you give Narcan, you call 911. Because the fentanyl is so strong now that one dose of the 2 doses of Narcan sometimes is not enough. But, you know, EMTs have Narcan. The police have it on them. High figure, skating. Both of my brothers overdosed, and if just one person around them had Narcan, they may be here today. Sherry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's too many people we're losing, too many people. And a lot of families have that elephant in the room, you know. They don't know how to deal with it. It's not that they don't want to, but sometimes they don't know how to. But it's time to start pushing that elephant out and getting educated and going to support groups. The number for the where is it? The national hotline, helpline. The National Drug Helpline. And I'll post these all out. I didn't have time. I wanted to get on. I'll post these after. The National Drug Helpline, 888-633-3239. Or just write down National Drug Helpline and look it up on Google. Okay, it's 24 hours. If you're a family member, you can call there also. Anyone in Massachusetts can go to support group Learn to Cope. That's Learn, the number 2, cope, learntocope.org. And I will post that. fancy. It's the worst epidemic. It's worse than any other thing I know. The addiction opiate, I don't know. It's the heroin, fentanyl pills, whatever. The opiate addiction is horrible. It's deadly. Takes one time. It's like Russian roulette. Gillian, I never heard of Narcan over here. We have a pen. Narcan, it comes in the needle form too. But the nasal one is easier and quicker to administer. So I would look into, because the needle one, you got to put it together, and so the nasal ones are a lot quicker. You just take it out, and the next time I do a discussion on this, I'll show it to you. It's so simple to administer. PCAP, my whole family is alcoholics. That's tough, you know, and it's tough when you just sit there and it's like, where's your bottom? Where is your bottom? And then you find out, you know, there's that saying that I thought there was a bottom until I found out there's a basement. It just, there's no bottom. It keeps going and going. And unfortunately, a bottom can sometimes mean, you know, when they OD and pass away. I like to drink, but I take control. Alcohol is my gateway drug, so I stay clear of alcohol as much as possible. Yes, Robbie, you gotta stay away from it completely. Completely. It's too risky. It's too risky. You know, when you have that brain, you know, that is triggers addiction, and, you know, even a little bit, you just can't. You can't. It's just gonna get that brain going where it leans toward addiction. And I did post a link in my previous video to animation of how drug and alcoholism affects on the brain. Chiatin? I don't know a lot about that, Deb. I'm not even comfortable talking about that for treatment. And slightly, my sister's an alcoholic, going to meetings 8 months, so far so good. Anything can trigger, always got to be aware. We know when something is up. Yeah. Some people go to meetings every single day, once a day, twice a day. There's online meetings. If any of you are disabled, you can't get out of your house, don't have a vehicle, if you go on Facebook, there are AA meetings, support groups, Al-Anon online. Al-Anon online support group has 44,000 members in it. Support group, another one has 43,000 members. These are pretty active groups online. Ingrid, my brother died of a drug overdose 1 year, 2 months ago after my dad passed away. I'm so sorry. You feel so helpless, but you know what? Don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself with the what ifs. I should have, would have, could have. Don't go there. Don't go there. This is a disease that where you are powerless over it. There is not, I mean, you can try and try and try, but at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, that person has to want to get help. Hi, Mona. You're a recovering Catholic Jew. I even saw a support group for Jewish people. I mean, there's support groups for everything out there online. My therapist said never should on yourself. Never should blame yourself, DJ. It's true. Robbie, quitting substances was the spark of my social anxiety because I relied on it in social settings. It's hard, yeah. Yeah, so you have to, like, you really have to change your life and, do things completely different. That 12-step program is a great program for a lot of people. You know, it's like, um, quitting cigarettes. It's like, well, how can I drive without a cigarette? How can I talk on the phone or eat a meal without a cigarette? We have to learn to introduce new things. And the biggest thing with those in recovery is serving others. To put yourself out there, help others, because that's where you find the most gratification in recovery, is to serve others. John, I only drank and smoked pot, really on the pot, and was always afraid to do anything more. Yeah, some people just don't go near it. But again, if someone's brain is prone to addiction, it doesn't take much. I could have a glass of wine and I could be sitting next to you. I could have a glass of wine and not feel anything from it and be like, okay. And anyone who knows me, I might have a drink once a year, if that. But the person next to me, the way their brain is developed, formed, and it can be hereditary, people are just prone to addiction. That person next to me be like, I need another one, I need another one. And it's not their choice, it's how their brains react to alcohol, to any drug substances. Oh my God, Adam, I just saw, I'm like, I didn't even know that was you. I'm like, if nothing changes, nothing changes except your sobriety date. That's so true. Oh, Robbie, thank you. I love you too. I think you're amazing. There are triggers. There are triggers. That's why, I can't speak. Maybe if someone in here is in recovery, they can offer something better than I can. Um, I can't speak. Like, how do you deal with a trigger? Pick up the phone, call somebody. Oh, I love you too, Adam. Pick up the phone, reach out to somebody. You will get through it. That's that's where I believe the miracle is. When you get that trigger and you feel like you're going to use, you know, that's when the program works. You pick up that phone or you go to a meeting, you reach out to people, and you're going to get through it. That's where the miracles are. You have to support. Triggers are hard, Ellie. Yeah. So again, Andrew Hager on Facebook, okay? Andrew Hager, H as in Harry, Hager. He is phenomenal. And he also has recoveryradio.fm. Put that in the Facebook search engine. And it's a live radio recovery program that he has. And he goes to jails and he interviews people. He's dedicated his life to serving others. And he's in recovery. And his phone number is 859-533-5815. He's in Kentucky. Rarely have we seen a person fall who has thoroughly followed our path. That's right, Crush. Pink, can you put that in the video description? For Andrew Hager, yes, I'm going to put his information. I'm going to put the National Drug Helpline, Learn to Cope. Yes, I will put that in there. You go to Facebook, just put in drug addiction, support, drug support, anything. You will see there are hundreds and thousands of pages. AA is online. Alcoholics So AA, Al-Anon, Crush, what's the other one? NA, Narcotics Anonymous. I have sections, spent $40,000 in rehab, went to the dealer's house with a bat to get him, nothing worked. I know, right, Deb? Right? It's up to that person, you know? That's where you feel powerless. Believe me, I ran after drug dealers, believe me. For anyone who doesn't have insurance, there are detox facilities that have like what they call charity beds, care beds, that will take a person. So don't think, well, I have no insurance, I have nowhere to go. There are beds available out there, and then they will help you, you know, apply for Medicaid. So don't ever let that stop you. And I don't care if what that facility looks like. Detox is detox. I don't care if whether it's Beverly Hills or down the worst part of Main Street. Detox is detox. You know, don't look for the one that somebody recommended. Waterfalls. You don't have to get up to go to meetings. They don't bother you. No, you got to go to a detox where they bother you every single minute, and they make you get up, and they make you go to meetings. Sue says, I can't tell you how many times he called me pleading, crying, and begging to get him out of rehab. Just so awful. Yeah, it is. You say no. You just say no. It feels awful, and your heart is breaking. You say no. I promise you it's the best thing you can say. Certain meetings used to trigger me. Yeah, Robbie, so it's a matter of, finding what meeting works for you. And again, you know, if anyone's in recovery, they can comment on that. But I know with Al-Anon, some meetings I was like, oh, this isn't working for me. I'd be angry, or, you know, I'm like, I don't want to just cut ties off with my loved one. And they're like, well, you have to. And I'm like, no, this isn't working for me. And you just keep going until you find a place where you're comfortable. And there, you know, there's so many meetings that you will find one that works for you. Crush, if a meeting doesn't have a solution, bring one to it. Absolutely. God, you're good tonight, Adam. Deb, learn to cope was the best. Deb, you from Massachusetts, right? Obviously, or New England? Hi, Mystic. Some meetings have active addicts. You can tell when they're high, and I've had to leave. Yeah, but they don't refuse, Robbie. They will never, ever refuse someone who is actively using, unless they're like misbehaving or they're just out of control. But I know that they, you know, it's open to anybody, whether you're struggling in addiction or in recovery. But if it's a trigger for you, then yeah, leave, obviously. You're XO Mose, Massachusetts. Hi. Boston hippie. Hi. My son got drugs from his meetings. Yeah, unfortunately, those things do happen, but, you know, it's up to you what you want to make out of it, you know. You got to find your purpose. Some people go there to find dates. I used to drive this girl to AA meetings, you know, and I would drop her off and she'd be like, you don't need to pick me up. And I'm like, how are you getting home? I'll find a ride from someone there. And I found out later she'd go there just to pick up guys. And she's still to this day struggling with addiction. Danvers cab. What? The office fanatic, where do you have God in your heart? So, you know, office, yeah, I mean, God is great. There's a lot of people, too, atheists, who don't believe in God. So any higher power that you can find, You know, it doesn't have to be God. It can be someone you trust. It can be someone you look up to. You know, that higher power isn't always God. Um, right. And some people can't without God. But there are some people who, you know, just don't believe in God. So we can't leave them out either. What's a, Adam, what about Danvers Cab? Danvers, Mass has a rehab that was highly recommended. Not sure if it's still there. It can be the rock of the sun, your higher power. Absolutely. Whatever works. Robbie, God rewards me for sobriety daily, but I got to do the work. Yeah, and it's hard work. But don't you find in recovery, though, with that hard work and staying clean and sober, that so many doors open and so many good things come to you? It's not about believing in God, it's about being willing and being open. That's right, Adam. Congratulations, Be Harmony. I'm in early recovery. I'm at 36 days. Congratulations. That is amazing. That is amazing. As you do the work, you'll grow your own relationship. Be Harmony, if I had chips, I'd throw one at you right now. And two, networking with other people. Adam's crushing it. That's right, view it. Networking with people in here, getting phone numbers, emails, you know, reaching out to each other. Real Talk Recovery. Hold on. Oh, that's Recovery Radio. Real Talk Recovery. Do you know Andrew Hager? So Real Talk Recovery live streams 5:30 p.m. Central for anyone who wants to need support. It's pretty awesome. Do you have a link, Real Talk? Is it on your YouTube channel? Sarcasm, the stress of everything. I've tried to hang myself last year. Now live in shame and guilt. Sarcasm, you don't have to live in shame and guilt. You don't. You are worthy. You are worthy. Stress is hard, but you've got to reach out to others. You've got to reach out to people and not feel like you have to go through this alone and that you're being defined. Okay? You've got to get out of that mindset. Crush, you should be a counselor. Huh, Adam? It's hard to do, I know, but you know what? You got to start. You got to learn. Like, one of my big things was trying. I always said yes to everybody. Yes, I'll help you. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, yes. And it really had put a lot of stress in my life, and I never thought I could say no. And I finally found the courage to say no, and it was like all this precipitory anxiety of like, oh my God, like how am I going to do this? I'm going to hurt them. And then when I did it and said no, it wasn't that bad. It was like, okay, no one judged me, no one defined me. It took more energy to say yes and do something that I wasn't prepared to do or willing to do or ready to do than it did just to say no, I can't and I'm sorry. Be Harmony. Yeah, learning how to say no. It's hard. It's so hard for me, but I do it now, and it's like, and it's okay. Yeah, Be Harmony. You can do this. Okay, you have us to reach out to. Okay. My email is pinkladyluck4@gmail.com. If anyone wants to share their email or even their cell, it's up to you if you want to post it. You're welcome, Be Harmony. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Can you do a live on depression and anxiety? Asked John Jensen. Yeah, I mean, at some point, um, because that does fall into, a lot of addictions are based on anxiety, depression. It's called dual diagnosis. People who self-medicate because they're going through a depression or anxiety. A lot of people with undiagnosed mental illnesses self-medicate. Um, yeah, self-medicating, right? Real talk, absolutely. So sure, I mean, depression, anxiety does fall into place with addiction and or leading to bad behaviors or um, any kind of addiction. And I'm finding too that there are more and more younger people with anxiety who are being medicated, which, if they need to be medicated, that's fine. But like the wheels are turning, like these kids are too young and they're dealing with depression, anxiety. There's so much to deal with out in this world. Our brains were not made to take in everything that's out there now. So there's a rise in mental illness, alcoholism now. The average age of deaths from alcohol is in the mid, or alcoholism, even without death, is mid-30s. And it used to be in the 60s, in your 60s. My freaking battery. Let me lower my light. I had anxiety and depression since puberty. Silver linings everywhere, right, Crush? Stay positive. If anybody is dealing with a crisis tonight with a loved one, or if you're in addiction and you're struggling, you can call the National Drug Helpline 888-633-3239. Or if you feel like you're going to harm yourself, please call 911. Does anyone have any questions regarding addiction? Again, I'll post all these links after when I upload. Many resources online, tons of resources online. Congratulations, Kelly. Keep up the good work. How do I know Andrew Pink? God, from Facebook. I reached out to him. I just happened to come across him on Facebook. I think I was searching for support. And Andrew Hager, look up on Facebook, Andrew Hager, Hager on Facebook. And he has an amazing Facebook, amazing recovery radio.fm. Go into Facebook, put in recoveryradio.fm. Chat should be on slow. I'm sorry. Thanks, Ellie. This is my first time doing this on YouTube and even on online, so I hope I did okay. Hi, Pixie. Is wrong. Am I angry with my son? I feel like it's wrong. No sarcasm. You have a right to be angry with him. You have a right to be angry. You do. Don't beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up. To see our loved one struggling like this, you're going to be faced with so many emotions, and anger is one of them. You get to a point where it's like, F this, F you, F this, because no matter what I do or say, that person's not going to listen. You find out how you're powerless, and you just want to shake them, and nothing's working, and yeah, you get pissed off, really pissed off. And you have a right to. You have a right to. And, we need, it's right, it's the addiction. That's not the person that we know. But you're entitled to your feelings. And through that anger, we still have to hold on and try to guide our loved ones into the right direction. And again, if anybody feels completely helpless, you can go to court and file a Section 35 to have your loved one sectioned through the courts into detox. Because the priority is that you want them safe. Sometimes even when they go to jail, that's a relief for a lot of parents because they're safe. Oh, Blue Topaz, I'm sorry, honey. And crying's a good thing, though, too. You're here around people who understand that you can reach out to. Section 35 saves lives. I've cried for a week. Me too. I cried for a long time. Thanks, Insightly. Deb, judges in Mass almost never refuse to section. That's true. That's true. Usually, all times they will section. Yeah, sarcasm. You're going to go through a lot of emotions. But just make sure it doesn't get you to the point where you can't get out of bed. You don't want to take a shower. You don't want to eat. You drag your ass to work. That's a bad place. It's a bad place to be in. You got to reach out. I thought I could take care of, issues on my own. Oh, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. You look like shit. No, really, I'm fine. I just had a bad day at work. I didn't sleep well. The excuses. No, I'm fine. Being afraid to reach out to people. Yeah, and don't use labels like junkie, right, Deb? No, that's just the stigma. That's ignorance. That's ignorance. Oh, I go through not wanting to get out of bed. Ballet, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Force yourself. Just get yourself up. Just force yourself and say, at least I stood up. It means you go back to bed, then go back to bed. But at least for that one morning, just get up and say, at least I can stand on my feet today. I can do a little bit more than I did yesterday. There's also outpatient programs. There's inpatient programs. If it doesn't work the first time, you do it again. Do it the second time, the third time, the fourth. You keep doing it. There is hope. There is hope. Real talk. I shot dope for 10 years. It is what it is. I'm recovered though now. Congratulations, Real Talk. Congratulations. Good for you. Survived it. Anyone experienced with coke? Family members put me through hell. I haven't, but maybe someone else here. Deb, I'm a small woman. I walk the streets of Fitchburg with a bat to get him home. Oh, Deb. Don't we know? Don't we know? Deb, how is your child? Deb, were you the one early on that said you ended up burying your child? Learn to cope. There was one time I had to take a break because every week I went, it was like, where's so and so? And their child passed away. And sometimes it just got to be too much. But it is a great, great place to be if you're in Massachusetts. Thanks, Real Talk. Praying for this whole chat. Real Talk, can you post your link? Is it your page that you do that radio show? Thanks, Eva. I'm trying. I'm going to go through all the messages after this. So if I missed anyone, no worries. I'm going to go back through everything. Joey, my advice as a former user is to want to stop, and sometimes you need to remove yourself from certain people. You can overcome anything. That is true. Pink is badass. Thanks, Robbie. Thanks, man. High five. No palm five. High five. I want to meet you one day. You got to come to Boston, okay? Come to Boston. You can meet Crush. You can hang out. Crush will show you such a good time. Thanks, Jennifer. She put her email out there for Midnight Blue. I'm sure if anyone else wants to email her. Pink is the best. Oh, thank you, Rita. No, you're the best. Thank you, my moderators. Some of these stories are so sad. It's breaking my heart. Yeah, they are. But there's hope, okay? Survived it. Can I talk to someone who has experience with a spouse who is an addict? Okay, Survived It's asking if anyone has a spouse who is struggling with drug addiction or alcohol, if you can reach out to her. Survived It. Can you put your email? Can you post your email? Survive It. Mel Barrow has. So Mel or Survive It, if you guys, one of you can post your email. Okay, and then when I upload this, the live chat takes a little bit longer. So if you missed it, you can go back in the live chat and you can get her email. Black Eagle, Al-Anon is good too. Yep. Don't give up. That's right, Brian. Bryn, don't give up. That's okay, Tony. I gotta leave in a couple of minutes. My battery wasn't able to charge all the way. But we can like do this again, okay? Pink, please give us a sign, a money sign, so we can get you a computer. I have a PayPal link in my description, okay? Thank you for everyone who has donated. I'm getting there. A portion of the proceeds do go to Learn to Cope, which is a support group for families who are struggling with a loved one in addiction. And anybody too, if you have everybody, get Narcan. Get Narcan. Keep it in your house. Women, keep it in your purse. Don't leave it in your car when it's really cold or really hot. Keep it in the house because you never know when you're going to need it, okay? You can get it at any pharmacy. I know around here, the AIDS Project, I think there's one out in Worcester. So for someone who, Deb, in Fitchburg, you can go to the Worcester AIDS Project and get Narcan for free, okay? Narcan literally saves lives, okay? Once you have to administer it, you call 911 right away because sometimes the 2 Narcans is not enough because of fentanyl, but it does save lives. And you love your Boston accent. Thank you, Angel. Park the car. I got the Boston, New York accent going on here. I'm really screwed up with these Go Lightly parodies. I'm going to work like, you want a cup of coffee? They're like, what you talking? You from New York now? I'm like, I don't know. It used to be, you want a cup of coffee? Coffee. Now it's coffee. You kick Crush. All right, Crush. Carry Narcan always. You never know. You might find someone out in the street that just is not breathing. And it won't harm the person if it's not a drug overdose to administer it. So don't worry about trying to figure out, is that a drug overdose or not? You can administer it and not worry that if it's not drug related, you will not harm that person and you're protected. No one can sue you. I'm from Memphis, so I don't hear it much. Hi, Mary. So everybody, I'm going to put the link up to Crush's page too. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Crush is doing his exclusive spa package presentation. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. And I'm going to be there. All right? It's going to be great. Subscribe to his page. Had a boyfriend in Boston back in the day. Boston strong. So subscribe to his page. I will post the link. He also has an Instagram page, A Dumb Young Man, at Instagram. A Dumb Young Man. He's not dumb. He's very, very bright. Oh my God. He's a genius. He's extremely bright. And he's my middle child. Adam, what does it feel like to be the middle child? Are you affected? Are you affected, Adam? Do you feel like I don't favor you? Adam equals Adam. That's right, Tony. His little sister, Diana, would say Adam, or Abam, Adam. Adam went to bed. Oh, Adam. Well, I'll ask him tomorrow morning. My daughter's in dental school. Her parents had taken illegal drugs, and my daughter had to administer Narcan. Jolene, yeah. Thank God Narcan was on hand. Middle child here. Baby, I'm the baby. Nah, 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 nah. I got spoiled. No, I didn't. Angel, Crush a lot left. But I'm sure he'll get your message. I love you too, Tony. I love everyone here. Tony, I'm the oldest kid. You're the boss, man. Tony's the boss of her family, of the siblings. Thanks, Mystic. Please come to Boston for the springtime. He said, no, girl won't come home here. It's a rambling boy. Don't you settle down in L.A. That can be your kind of town. As a recovering addict, I was really hoping to participate in this. Christine, I'll do another one, okay? Promise, promise. And I will post it before I do it, okay? I'll give a heads up, a few days before. I promise this will not be the last one. My email, pinklady4@gmail.com. If anyone has any questions, need resources, National Drug Helpline, 888-633-3239. I will post those after I upload this, okay? AA, Al-Anon, NA, all available online too. Okay, my bad. Oh, I got 10%. I got time. God bless you too, network. Crush has the best laugh. I looked at that video again today. I'm like, oh my God. It's even funnier. You're welcome, Mary. Thanks for being a mod. I appreciate you. That's right, Jolene. Be good to yourself and be good to others. Serve one another. Oldest of three sucked. Kate. Positive pants. That's right. Where have I heard that? Positive pants. Thanks, Ingrid. You're welcome, Mary. That's Snort Reader. That was the first time I ever heard him snort. I was like, what the? I'm like, you snort? And then he snorted again. I was behind the camera, like, literally laughing so hard. The tears were just, like, coming down to my neck. Someone needs to buy Crush a lighter for his videos. I picked him up some fake cigarettes at the party store today. They look like they're lit. He'll appreciate that. So listen, yeah. Bet you thought I rose. For all you newbies in here, sorry. Did your dog bark? Woof, woof, ew, ew. We're having technical difficulties here. Just snorting, that was really funny. Yep. I've never snorted. All right, everyone, good night. I will upload this. I will post the links. Okay, the chat takes a little bit longer to download. So if anyone posted emails, if you've networked with each other, you can go back according to where the video is at, in that chat will come up. Or watch the whole thing over again. Hit the like button. Anyone who wants to donate, my PayPal is in there. A portion of my donations does go to Learn to Cope, which is a support group for helping families who are struggling with their loved one through addiction. Good night, everybody. You're welcome. Everybody, you are welcome. That's okay. I'll be doing another one. Anyone who just got here and missed it, I will be doing another one, okay? And I will post. I'll give people plenty of time, okay? And you can always watch it again. Bye, Cecile. I love that name. Has Crush seen the original ML? I believe he has. I believe he has. It's going to take him a while to go through all the videos and really get a feel for her, you know? But he's doing a good job. Crush, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at his channel, he's doing an exclusive spa package presentation. So get to his channel. I'll post it also, and subscribe to his